Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Made with Love. My name is Heather and this is part 2 of my fall crafting. Just didn't want my video just to be way too long. So in this one I'm going to be doing my little wagons and my pumpkin people. So I'm going to start with the wagons. Because I said these fell apart because I made them several years ago just with hot glue, so it's not the glue's not going to stick metal to metal very long, especially when you've got them around little toddlers who think that it is a wagon and these are real wheels and they try to push them. So I'm just going to set the one aside because I will have to make another wheel because I'm short a wheel. So all I use is just a canning lid. This one I've used. Doesn't matter because I'm going to be spray painting it black. So I'll be running up to the garage quickly to do that. I've got a few other projects I got to spray paint. So I'm going to do all my spray painting at the same time. And then I've just got the white little reinforcements to make the center of the wheel where the screw would be. And then I said these handles were just plastic pom-poms. You can see they were like bright pink, and they had the metal little pom-poms. They were the bright pink and silver, which I'd used the pom-pom strings for a different project a couple of years ago, but then I kept these handles because they made great little handles for the wagon. So I'm just going to grab 4 wheels here, set those ones aside. I just need the one handle, and my glue gun is already plugged in and ready. Just got to move my glue sticks closer to me, and I'm just going to move my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. So I've already spray painted this red several times. It's been made this quite a few years ago. So I don't have any more red spray paint, so I'm not going to worry about it. There's a few little marks, mostly just on the inside, which nobody's going to see because this is going to be full of pumpkins. So I'm just going to tip it upside down. I'm just going to glue my handle on. So I'm just going to put lots of glue on the handle, on this side of the handle as well. And then I'm just going to glue it down and in place. So I'm using this edge here, like the handle part, to glue on, and this part here. So we get a nice, good handle. Now I know the handle sits more down, but that's okay. I know it's hard to glue to have the handle facing up. I had tried that before, having it so you could glue it so the handle goes up, but it just doesn't work with what I'm using for a handle. Unless I wanted to add something to the handle or something to this to make the handle stick out more so I could go above this lip, or if I had a different pan that had a less of a handle. But if I got one with less of a handle, I thought you'd lose some of this wagon shape. And then the wheels are just very easy as well. Just gonna glue the wheels right there. So just with my hand, just knowing kind of where I need to glue. Just want to make sure I didn't get too much glue on the wheel. I only needed about halfway up. So I'm just going to, again, just line a little string in there. Just line this up and just kind of using my thumb as a guideline. I don't need to go past a certain point with glue. But I do want enough glue so that it will hold. I'm just going to flip this on this side and do the same thing. This one's got something stuck there. I'm going to grab a different handle, or not handle, different wheel, just making sure I get one, because sometimes these little canning lids kind of stick to each other. So it's really easy to make these wagons. I don't know how much it's going to cost to make the wagons anymore. Depends on where you buy your pans. Right now, I Dollar Tree where I live, they've upped their price to $1.50 for certain things, but they're not bringing a lot of stuff in at the moment. So I've been going to Dollarama and they're putting their price up to $5 an item. So it might cost like $5 for a pan like this. Just have to look for one. I mean, I've got some other older cookie sheets that are no good that I could turn into something. There. And it's okay if it doesn't sit. I mean, the wheels kind of sit kind of more slanted inward, kind of slant a little more inside to the bottom because of the way the pan is shaped. Again, if you want to fix that, you can always glue a block of wood or something so the wheel is straight, but for me, I think this is just fine. It's just a decor piece. It's not like it's a real wagon or anybody's going to really use it for anything, but there we go. So that is how simple it is to make the little wagon. Like I said, so I will be making my second one. I can do most of it now, just won't be able to glue the one wheel on. So I've got to repair that wheel. This wheel had some stuff on it. Maybe I'll just leave that wheel and clean it too. So I'll just do half of this just so I can get these started and kind of done and out of the way. So I can get these to dry somewhere else and I can get the pumpkin people started again and get on with my other pumpkin crafts that I was going to be making. This just uses so much glue sometimes. So I really want these to stick because these are going to be outside. Now my front entrance is covered. I don't know if I'm going to actually have both of them out this year. You know, both these wagons sitting outside this year. I'm not sure. But I will have one for sure. So I figured I might as well just do them both. So there, this wagon is mostly done, and I will get to that other wheel when I'm spray painting my other stuff. I'm just going to set this here. Okay, I'm just going to move a few things so I can get my pumpkin people here. So you can see I've got two of them. The girl, she is fine, but it's this boy, he's the one who's falling apart. So I'm just going to take him apart so you can see how he was made. Very easy to do. These were just some old kids' clothes I had around the house. And stuffing seems to be moving. So let's see, I'm just going to undo, get this undone. Just undo the overalls. And so all he is, oh, the shirt snaps, that's even easier. So all it is just, I've got some little bit of stuffing in here to give their stomachs a fuller appearance. But in the legs, it's just brown paper, kind of balled up to give the leg some shape to the legs. And then same with the arms. So I'm going to have to add some more to this because it's just not looking as full as it was. I just wanted to kind of like, something have to kind of redo that. And then for the head and the arms, so this is all I took, was just a metal hanger and kind of straightened out the arms to kind of give, or straightened out, I guess these are arms, I don't know, this part of the hanger, just kind of made it look more like the arms. And then I just took the top part of this hanger and stuck it through this foam pumpkin. Like that. So then I'm just going to put the hanger back in here. Of course, gotta get this remade, so I need some more stuffing. So I will find some more pillow stuffing. But that's basically all they are, is just some paper and the stuffing here. But once they're sitting up and out on my front step, nobody really notices how full or not full they are because they just look so cute. And then for their legs, all their legs are is just right where this paper bag stuff. I think I just used a paper bag actually. Just the sock. So it's just pairs of socks sitting here, so they look like they got feet. And it kind of hides the little paper bag. Oh, he's got both his socks. So that must be her sock. But I saw his glove, and then all I did for their hands was just the little baby mitts. Same thing. I just tuck it over the edge of the sleeve, and it looks like they've got their gloves on. So that's all there is to these people. It was really easy to make. I mean, I think the hardest part was bending the hanger and then getting the hanger to go through the pumpkin, but the pumpkin is just the cheap Dollar Tree foam pumpkins, so they weren't too bad. Like I said, I've kind of got his stuffing in here a little bit better, so now he's sitting up a little bit better for me. I'm just going to play around with the stuffing. And then for the necks, because it was just how do you keep the head kind of sitting up more, I bought some little scarves and toques from the dollar store. I just kind of put his scarf on, and it just kind of helps hold the head up. So when he's sitting, it kind of just holds the head up a little straighter, and it kind of hides the hanger a little bit better. And then, let's see, he had, I just gave him a little bit of this for hair, which I'm going to put the toque on first, and then I'll put his hair on. So just do this. That's why they still have this thing on, because this was helping to hold the hair in place. There we go. So there he is fixed. Now he is just ready to get kind of more fluffed up as I set him on my step when I figure out where he is going to sit. And here is the little girl one. I don't know if you've lost that. See, here she is. So, I mean, she's got longer raffia hair. I don't know where my bag of raffia went at the moment. But no, her chest and everything is all pretty good. She seems pretty plump in here. Just gonna fluff this up a little bit. Her arms seem pretty good. Just making sure that she's got her gloves on. So she lost a sock. I'm just gonna roll up the pant leg to figure out which is this one here. And you can see it's just this paper bag, or maybe just the paper. It's either a paper bag or just some brown paper you get when you buy things from Dollarama, or not Dollarama, there's a thrift store that does it too. When you buy glass things, they just take these sheets of that brown craft paper. I can't really see her other foot. I'm just going to pull her foot out. Pull her pant leg up. Just kind of fix her sock on here a little bit better. And I can always add more stuffing to the socks, but I just thought the socks were just a little bit easier than if I tried to find baby shoes. So the socks were cheaper. It was just a two pairs for $1.25, and I think same with the gloves. I think they were a double pack as well. So there she is, and there he is. So now I can just get ready to set these guys out on my front steps. I'm just going to set them aside. I'm going to set him over here beside her too. So when I put them outside, I can kind of adjust their stuffing. Now I had this other one I wanted to do, and I just, where did I put it? It is on the floor. Just give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I had them close at hand, but I just couldn't quite reach them where I was sitting. So I have a few of these old wooden cutting boards. I got these around the neighborhood a couple weeks ago. Somebody had stuff for free out on their driveway. So I got these 3 cutting boards. And I knew I could do a craft with them, but I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. So I'm just looking at the 2 oval ones. I just want to save the better of the 2 for a Christmas idea that I had. This doesn't really matter because I'll be painting them anyways, but I just want I'm trying to find the bigger, nicer one. I think this one is the nicer of the 2, so I'll save that one for my Christmas project. So we've got this oval one and this round one. And what it was just, they were just stacked in my craft room one day, and I looked down and I'm like, that looks like a pumpkin already. Don't have to do anything to it, but I'm going to spray paint them more of an orangey color, or whatever color I've got in my garage. So I'm going to be painting these. I've got an orange, because it's a yellow. I know I've got a yellow, and the other one I think it's more of an orangey yellow. So I will see what colors, but I just think already it looks like a pumpkin. Or if I wanted to do it even the back side like that. But I like the front part because it's got the extra little beveled edge. So I'm going to just go out to the garage and I'm going to spray paint. I'm going to take these outside, I think, and spray paint these and spray paint this black. So I will meet you when I'm ready to paint. Oops. Make sure I get this lined up to where I'm trying to spray. It didn't work. Okay. Try this again. So I'm out here. I'm just going to spray these black. This is the one that had something on it, and I went to take the whatever was on it off, and I peeled a lot of the paint off. So I figure I can just quickly spray paint that one. Now my 2 colors, I've got this Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover Paint and Primer, and this one is the Gloss Coral, and this one is also the Rust-Oleum Ultra Cover 2x Coverage, and this is the Gloss Marigold. So I'm going to spray the bigger one in Marigold and the smaller one in the Coral. This one over. See, I got the edge of it with the yellow because I wasn't paying attention to where it was sitting. There. I'm just going to give these one quick coat. I don't really need to do too much here. I'm just going to give a good spray around this edge. I know my paint is dripping. It's doing something funny here. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just going to make sure I get around these edges here too. I'm almost out of spray paint. That's probably part of the problem. And also, I don't remember how old some of my spray paints are. Okay, so I'm just going to let this stuff all dry. And I'll be back when the paint is dried. All right, I've got everything spray painted. So I'm going to start with this 2 wagon wheels first. Maybe just a little tacky. I've got spray paint stuck to my table now because these weren't quite 100% dry, but I have to bring them in. Wind was picking up and the sun is going down. So I'm just going to give those things a few more minutes or a little while longer to dry. Probably about another hour before I get to those. But I figure I might as well do the wagon wheels. I'm just going to place the reinforcement kind of in the center. I'm not worried about getting them in the dead center because I will say if you use the wagons, the wheels kind of get a little funny sometimes, and when they don't really ever screws are never really fully centered after a little few uses out of wagons. Put glue here, just glue these ones in place. Yeah, they're a little tacky still. So did I just take some of the paint off? I might have. That's okay. I'm just trying to get these done. They don't have to be perfect. I made these a few years ago. Wagons get used. Paint gets chipped off the wagons anyways, but there we go. So this one now has all 4 wheels. And if you wanted to, you could paint the other side here just so you don't see it. But the way that these sit for display, nobody's really going to be, you know, playing around too much with them, or at least I hope nobody's going to be playing around with them too much. And I've got places like this where I had stuff taped and glued in so nothing would, because I had these outside so nothing would fly away, and it peeled some of the paint off. But again, I don't have any red spray paint. Otherwise I would do another coat, which if you do look, I've done several coats over the years of different reds. Some is more shiny, some is more matte. Especially if I go under here, you can see that the first coat that I had done was a very dark red, and then I got this more of a brighter red. So there we go. So I got these done. Set this one to the side so those wheels can finish drying too. And then my little pumpkins, they're just right beside me, but I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with them. Pick them up even though they're a little wet. So there's the one that was done in the marigold, and this is the one that was done with the coral. So I just want to line these up so they're kind of even at the bottom. I'm not going to attach these. I'm going to put them in my little plate stand, and hopefully I won't have to glue them. I might tie a piece of ribbon around or twine or something to hold them together, but I'm not going to glue them because I want to be able to use these for various other decor pieces. So right now this is what I've got, and I'm hoping with some of the paint still being a little tacky they might kind of stick, and of course being outside, another little fly got stuck there. And then I'm trying to decide what I wanted to use on here to decorate the pumpkins. I've got these from Dollarama. They're all like these ones here were all $1.25 a bag. So I've got the pumpkins, I've got the spiders, the witch, and the ghosts. I think I'm going to do the spiders. So I'm going to see how many of these spiders. You get 4 in a pack. Do I want to use all 4? I do want a couple of them on here. 1, 2, 3. I guess I will use all 4 of these spiders, so I'm going to go and spray paint these black as well. I think it's just the fastest way to get these spiders the black. Now I do know that they all have the little hole for the string, but don't worry, I've got an idea to kind of cover those. I have my bling wrap, which was just in front of me. Right here, I've got some of these, so my bling wrap, I've got some orange bling wrap, so I might just do paint them black and then do a strip of the orange or the black bling wrap across them or on their legs or something, just because I have some of these little pieces cut from when I did a different craft. I did the truck and a pumpkin, so I've got extra little strips cut out, so I want to use them up. So I'm going to go do that. Give these a little bit longer to dry so before I touch them too much and get too much paint anywhere. So I'm just going to go out and I'm just going to spray paint these black. So when all of this is dried and ready to assemble, then I will be back. Alright, I am back. The paint is dry. So what I've decided to do with this wooden, what are these, the cutting boards or chopping boards, is to make it look like a nice pumpkin. And I've got this little piece, well, I guess it's quite a long piece, probably, I don't know, 60 centimeters or so. So it is quite a long piece, but it's my last piece of this one. So it's got the nice wire rim and it's got the pumpkins. So I'm just gonna, I've got this lined up here kind of pretty even, maybe not so much even as I had it a minute ago. I think I just pulled the wrong way. Okay. And I'm just gonna tie it into a bow at the top here, just so my pumpkin will have a nice stem. Which I guess it's not, I'm not gonna do a bow, I'm gonna do this. There. So my pumpkin will have a nice stem. I'm gonna glue these together and make them look a lot nicer up there. So I'm just gonna pull these here because I really like to see this gold edge on here. See if I can get it. Okay, it's just kind of, ribbon kind of flipped in itself under here. Okay, well, I will fix that in a second if I can't. For whatever reason, I can't seem to pull it out. The ribbon just all twisted on me. This bottom part, there we go. I'm just gonna get it back centered, there. And then I've got my little spiders here, and I've cut some bling wrap. I've got some purple and orange. I just gotta find them. Just making sure I had cut the pieces long enough to cover the little hole where you would normally just hang these up. So all I did for the spiders was I just spray painted them with black spray paint. I'm gonna glue two with the purple down the, and two with the orange. And I'm burning myself already with the hot glue gun. Acrylics and hot glue don't mix, but I love my acrylics and I like hot glue, but they just, the last time I was doing something, I think like a week ago with hot glue, the tip of the metal tip of the glue gun hit my acrylic and actually melted the acrylic. I've never done that before, but that really hurt, and it was really hard to get that acrylic off where it had melted like onto my skin. It was just really painful. So I just want to be extra careful using my glue today. So I'm wearing shorter acrylics today than I had last week. I don't even know if I was filming myself using the glue gun last week. I think I was just doing, I think I may have been just repairing some stuff that or maybe it was my Day Home kids, that's what it was. I was gluing their crafts together. They were gluing, they're making monsters with just popsicle sticks, pom-poms, and googly eyes. So they would make the little person or people or monsters or whatever, and then I would just glue the pom-poms and googly eyes onto the popsicle sticks for them. And so I kept touching the tip of the glue gun with my acrylics. Okay, and I'm gonna glue the spiders on, but I've got this double pack of these, what are they, plate hangers or display easels, I guess these are called. So I'm going to use, let's see how thick, that's 3. I think I have to use the largest one with how big this pumpkin is going to be. And I'm not cutting into these wires. I normally do and don't do anything with it, but I actually need these twist ties for an upcoming project that I'll be working on. So just see, they make good little cat whiskers. So all I'm gonna say, just gonna make sure that this is the right size. I didn't actually test this first. I just wanna, this is display should fit. Yes, it fits. Okay, but it's a little crooked because it won't sit up on this foam mat. Kind of, it's not level, so I don't want to drop or break everything. So now I'm just going to glue my spiders on wherever they're going to go, all over the spider, or the spiders are going to be glued all over the pumpkin. Figure out what I'm saying. So I really wanted, there, let's put one here. It's got to be up. I'm just trying to figure out with the legs. Actually, you know, I can probably just lift this up. Can I lift? Let's see, because I really like this to, no, I can't. I didn't glue these. It was still tacky when I stacked them. So I think they're just still going to be just stuck on just because of the paint being wet when I stacked them, and I left them overnight to dry, and I left them stacked. I really want to try to make this even, but I guess I've got some other little spiders and things, but I really wanted, I don't know. I had it figured out the way I wanted it. Now I've kind of changed where they are going. That's okay. Spiders crawling up the pumpkin. It looks like that. I've got this blank space here because I'm gonna do something. Let's see, I've got these other little wooden ones that I got from Dollarama. These were $1.25. You get 40, and this is like a fall leaves and flowers. And this one was $2. You get 45, and it's the Halloween ones. I think I might do a spider. Might do a couple baby spiders. And then I got this one. It was also $2 for 45 pieces. And again, this is, oh, it's the fall. And this one was $2, 45 pieces. And it's like the flowers, no, this isn't flowers. Yeah, flowers and butterflies. It's like the spring one. These were just bought at different collections. So this is what they look like. They're from Dollarama. For the price wise, try to find them in the bags. $1.25 for 40 or $2 for 45. So you're getting 5 more and paying 75 cents. I didn't realize that. I thought you actually got more in these little ones. But it comes in a nice little wooden tray, which I've got an idea to reuse these trays for an upcoming craft. I might not really get to it because I'm going into Christmas pretty soon, but I've got some ideas on these little wooden boxes because I've got quite a few from buying these. And then when I open this, I actually take these little wooden cutouts, and I've got those bigger travel kind of cases that are all the different compartments, and I store all these extra pieces in those other travel cases or other, I don't know, other cases, things, whatever they are. Oh, what was it looking for? Oh, the spiders. Just wanted to get one out. I just want to see the size difference before I actually decide if I wanted to use this. You know, I do I want to keep them this color? Do I want to paint them? You know, I'm just going to, for now, just stick them on. How many do you get? Okay, you got 5. There. Little baby ones. So I'm going to go and spray these little ones black and do the same thing. I'll put some little bling wrap on those. And I'm just going to tie this up a little tighter, and I want to make it into a bow. I'm trying to figure out how I want to make this look like a stem for my pumpkin. Let's see. Let's see, this has got some glue stuck up here from, so this was a previously used piece. So I'm just gonna cut the glue ends off because there's some hot glue on here and it doesn't look so nice because it's a, there. So now I'm just deciding, grab it. What's this? So one thing I like about the ribbon is you can actually twist it and get it to go more with the direction you want it to go in, like that. So I think I'm going to just glue these together just a little bit down here, like this. I think I will have to just glue it in here just so they stay at the top right where I want them. Just a little glue. Right where the knot is, and just press the knot in place. Just a little bit of glue up here too, just to hold the top. Don't want the glue on my acrylic. I just did these last night. Bit of hot glue just to hold the ribbon up in place where I want it to stay, and then I will flip it over. Maybe I'll just do a little strip here just so it stays there. It's like there. Just so if it gets bumped or moved, it's not going to, the ribbon's not going to move around, because the ribbon is actually what's holding the two trays together for right now. I'm just going to do the same on this side. Just put a strip of glue down and glue it down. Like I said, just a little dab of hot glue there in a few places, and I can reuse this ribbon if I just put a little bit of glue at the back, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find ways to use what I have, but use what I have smartly, so I can reuse everything like year after year, so I don't have to repurchase all my ribbons. They're starting to get pretty expensive and harder to find. Okay, I like this. Like this. I'm just gonna, and this, see, with the wired ribbon I can do my little I don't know, whatever the fold is called. Oh, fan fold. There, just kind of fold it in so it looks like that. I'm just gonna put a little glue there just to hold blob of glue, gluing my acrylics. Not gonna look at that right now. I could spend quite a few minutes peeling the glue off my acrylic, so I'm not gonna do it right now. I'll wait till I get this project finished and then I can do that. Just a little glue, just holding it together just so it's kind of stays where I want it to stay, so if it gets bumped, and it's kind of got my top of it made. So there is my pumpkin. So now I'm going to set this aside because I gotta paint the other little spiders. I'm trying to think, so what have I got left to do? I'm just making sure I've got everything I was working on. This would be day 3 I started, so I've done it. All right, I've got these done. These are now dried. It was glued and dried. Glued yesterday and painted yesterday, so these are now glued. So now I'm going to do get these decorated. So I'm just gonna grab my box that I need to put my stuff inside. All right, so in this container, it's a pretty good size container. I've got all my other fall decor pieces that are not necessarily pumpkins that I want to use to for in there. I've got some of these corn. I've got got 4 that are these beaded ones. They are from the dollar store. I didn't buy them at the dollar store. I got them at a secondhand shop. But I still paid a little more than what I would normally like to pay for these decorative pieces. But I also have a few pieces of this other corn here that it is some type of a real corn that's been dried. As you see, I don't know, they're falling apart. Now I've had these for quite a few years. I got them a really good price. This one here has lost its grassy stalk, whatever it's called, but it's still, you know, nice piece. But I'm just saying, for what I paid for these real ones versus what I paid for these fake ones, once I got them out of the package, I was kind of disappointed with how they look. They look so cheap, but for the price I paid, they're okay. They don't really work with my decor every year, but I do have them, and they just kind of sit. I usually just have them outside, so I'm wondering if little critters hadn't actually got into this, or if they just fell off. I don't know. Oh, I guess maybe they just drying out and falling off now. So it might be time to say we're probably done with these. I'll use it this year and I'll have them outside, and then I think I'll get rid of them. I'm not quite sure. I don't know how old they are. I'm gonna have to look into this corn stuff and see, you know, how long you can use these. Okay, and then I've got these other fall florals here. These ones were in a floral arrangement. I like the other pieces. I didn't really like these florals. They didn't go with anything, but I think I'm going to use them outside this year for part of this fall decor with these red wagons. I've got a couple of these ones. I don't know where the other one went. I just had like 2 of these ones. So they got the leaves, and they've got a couple of the glitter leaves. So those I'll be using. These I usually cut up and just do individual leaves, and I actually glue them to the side of the wagon to make the wagons look fuller. And I've got more leaves here. I've got some more green leaves. I may not use them. I've got this one. I don't like these ones. I actually threw them out. I've got a couple left. They are very waxy and plastic feeling to them. So these I've had for a long time. Oh, see, look at that. It just ripped really fast. These actually were really nice until a couple of years ago. They got left outside from the fall all the way through till like mid-July. So though they were outside in rain, the snow, and like heat, so it really just wrecked them. So any more like fine like that, I'm just gonna throw out now. And I've got a whole bunch of these apples, and these apples are the ones, you know, they're very old. These were also left outside for quite a few months, so they're cracking, but I've got some that haven't cracked, and I will do one of the baskets, or not baskets, one of the wagons full of apples, because I love doing the apples for the fall. A whole bunch more of the apples, and I've got some different fruits here. Oh, it's a Halloween skull. I don't want to use that quite yet. Oops, I got another, oh, this work. Oh, it needs the battery changed. It's just for the light for when we do the pumpkins. I was looking for that one, couldn't find it. Okay, so like I said, I've got more of these apples. Then I've got some of these other gourds. This one I'm gonna put in the other box with my pumpkins and gourds. I'm not using these this year. And then I've got these different pears. So I got these really nice ones, and then I got these gold ones. Now the gold ones I usually use for Christmas. So I'm going to just take the pears out. I'm not going to use them for now, but I might put a couple pears in the wagons to see how they work. But the gold ones I'm going to save for Christmas. Okay. Same with these. See, these are some more of these gourds. I'm not, so this year I wasn't doing the gourds. So I think that's it. Well, then I've got, like I said, I've got some of these glitter skulls, which I'm not ready to put skulls out yet. I'm not ready to do, oh, got a glitter bat. I'm not quite ready for actual Halloween stuff quite yet. I'm still just doing fall. I usually do the Halloween decor just the couple days before Halloween. So I've got some of these fake spiders, same thing. Might start to put the spiders out just because they're not quite really Halloween. It's things like the skulls and the witches and other things I'll say to like the few days before Halloween. But some of the spiders and maybe the bats I might start putting out now, because we are almost to the middle of, or we're just past the middle of October. So just a couple more weeks till Halloween. So I just want to get my, oh yeah, so here's all these leaves that were left outside. Actually, you know, I think I might just put, I might use these leaves one more time because I've got a whole bunch of them here. I think that's what I'm going to do. I thought I had thrown them out. I guess I didn't throw them out. I guess I just threw them in the bottom of this bucket to deal with at another date. So I guess I will, just going to find, okay, that is off of, this is off of something else. So that I'm going to set aside. That is off of the wreath off my front door. And it just came off the other day when I was outside, and I just brought it in and threw it in one of these buckets that was by the front door. I was bringing all my fall decor upstairs. So I've got these green leaves. I'm not going to do the green leaves. We're already into fall. The leaves are have turned, but I'm going to just keep them here because I may have to use them as fillers. So I'm just going to grab this one first. So I'm just going to grab these leaves. I said some of these I have actually hot glued them in place if I need to, but I like to just kind of throw them in here going up the sides just as kind of like a filler, just to kind of look like it's leaves and apples in this wagon. That's what I want to do with this first one, is just do the leaves and apples. So it looks like the little pumpkin people were out apple picking. A nice little bed of leaves here. This one's quite a nice long leaf. Put this up like this. I'm just gonna stick these in. Just, oh, what was that? Something metal. Not good. Okay. Just gonna throw these in here because I am gonna be throwing these out at the end of this year. They're just falling apart. They were left outside too many years in a row. I've got them, oh, I don't know how long I've had them, but you know, long enough that I've got quite a few years of use out of them. So now that looks good. I'm going to take these apples, the ones that are more damaged, and put them in the corners. I'm just trying to do things. Now these apples were actually part of a Christmas ornament that I had, but you know, I never put these apples on my tree. I just thought it was just kind of funny to put apples on your Christmas tree. Some of these you can see I've used them, and I've had the leaves actually glued onto the apples just to kind of hide some of the damaged apples over the years. But like I said, these just sit outside in my front door is kind of a covered area, so I don't have to worry about it too much. But there we go. So I got a nice basket, a wagon full of apples and leaves. So look like my little pumpkin kids were out picking apples. And for this one, I'm going to use the flowers and these leaves. So I'm just gonna grab my scissors here and see if I can cut this or not. Okay. And I could take them apart. I'm just going to do a little half a snip and then bend. They should come off. I'm just gonna stick these here. I'm tempted to go and get my wire snippers, but they are so big and heavy. I just may have to if I can't get. Oh, there goes one of my acrylics. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Take me a few minutes. I'm gonna go and grab the other one of these, and I'm gonna grab my wire cutters so I don't lose another nail and a fingernail, and I'm going to cut these off of the stem as well. Actually, these just pull right off. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go and grab the wire cutters, get my other stem of leaves that I dropped, and I'll be back when I'm ready to assemble the second wagon. All right, I've got my leaves and my flowers all cut off the stems. I'm just gonna move this aside for 1 second if I got somewhere to set this. So these are the stems, and I keep these because sometimes you need longer florals to fit in the vase, and you can always just attach the new florals to this to give you some length, or you can even like have to do a couple at a time depending on how long or tall your vase is. Now, the other thing I do with these is I spray paint these black, and I love to use these this time of year for standing up around my little haunted house when I put it up. So I'll show you. These sticks are painted black, and they do look they look like scary, you know, haunted house trees. Like even these little baby picks like this, you just spread these out a little bit more, and when you put them in a cluster, they start to look like really scary trees. And then I've got some of these really tall ones, and I have no idea what florals had come off of this, but the floral part, or the stick part itself, has all these little circles that it's like spirals. So it really looks like a really twisted, knotted tree. And then these stick parts were just all, I don't know, just the way they're all twisted. They really do look like a witch's forest. So I'm just gonna move that so I can show you. Like, I gotta put something white behind because I'm wearing a black shirt. But what do I have? I don't know if I have anything white beside me. I don't think I do. Maybe just do this. You can see how it looks like such a twisted, scary forest. It looks better when they're not bunched up like this, when you actually spread them out and layer them. I will do a better close-up shot of these so you can see just how, you know, it looks like a chunk of a witch's forest. So that's what I do with those extra little picks. So I always save these because you can always, there's always something to do with them. Because when you make your florals, you cut the stuff off, you get this nice stem here, and I say just cover it with floral foam. Sometimes I don't even use floral foam. I might just use masking tape or duct tape just to put a couple, if I need to do some lengthening. You know, 2 of these, you can really get some extra length. So that's what I do with these extra pick stems, or floral stems, or whatever you want to call them. Okay, so now I'm going to do the second wagon. So I'm going to just throw in these leaves. It doesn't matter how they get thrown in. Actually, I want to keep the glitter ones for the top. I'm just going to put these in here. And this one I'm going to put the corn in. I decided that I think I'm going to, oops, it's got glitter. This one's got glitter too. Okay. Just kind of want to have the glitter ones more to the top, to the side, so you can see them. And use the other ones as the base. Just go like that. And one more. There we go. So we got all the leaves in here. And I'm going to use, I decided I think I'm just going to pitch these ones. They are all just crumbling and I don't know. I'm kind of worried that if I put them out on my front the way they are, I might end up with little critters, and I don't want little critters coming to my house. So I'm going to use these plastic bead ones. I'm just going to stick them in here. Like I usually do my, was it the cornucopia or horn of plenty, but this year I didn't get to them. So we already had our Thanksgiving, so I didn't get a chance to put those out, so I'm not going to be doing them this year, but I do want to get some more of this other fall stuff brought out. So I'm just going to stick these yellow flowers in here. I'm going to leave it with the corn and leaves and flowers. I don't even know if I'm going to use all these flowers. I haven't quite decided. I just would like to do a nice assortment of flowers and then stick these out on my front porch as well. So I'm just going to finish putting these flowers in here. And I think I might stick, actually, I like that. One of these florals just jumped over into the apple basket one, and I think I might put the rest of these in with the apples, because I like the contrast of the red with this yellow. And this can kind of hide the fact that my apples need to be touched up. So next year I will repaint all my apples red and fix up the cracks that are in them. That's just from being left outside for quite a few months. They weren't supposed to be, but it happens. And they kind of just kind of sat outside on the front step, and I just kind of liked the way that they sat there. So I just kind of kept this full with these apples, and I just kind of added to it to whatever season it was. Kind of like add some florals to match the season. That way they could just stay outside. So there we go. There's that one and this one. So now I will be back when I've got all this. Oh no, I've got one more thing. I was getting these out and I saw something else that I had made a few years ago, which I have to remake. And I'd seen this idea quite a few years ago on Pinterest, and it's a pumpkin made out of Slinkies. So I found this one, and it's the orange, and it's kind of glittery. Then I found this one that's orange, but then it's got some of the yellow and green. And all you do, let's see, I made these so many years ago, they fell apart, but that's okay. I'm just gonna remake them. So just put a strip of hot glue. My glue will come out. Just put a strip of hot glue. I have my arm tangled in glue gun wire, and just loop it around. Like that, and you get this pumpkin shape. So I'm going to do the same to this one too. Like I said, I had made these a few years ago, and so they've been glued several times now over the past, I don't know, 5 years, I think it's been. I don't know how many ever years it was that I saw this on Pinterest. Oh. Glue, just hot glue and acrylics just do not mix. But, okay, just gonna glue this one together. Just Just have to kind of squish it, and you're kind of getting that round pumpkin shape without gluing it to my table here. Okay. This. And then what I did to really make these look like more like pumpkins, I have these candles, and they have this wire here on the bottom. Actually, they are just regular candles. And these are actually to screw into the inside of the pumpkin for your, when you light your jack-o'-lanterns. But I just glued a leaf on top, and then I just put it through like that. Now, of course, it's not going to stand because of the way these are on this base. This, oh, I can get it off the base. And then just stick it in. And there we go. This one is stuck too. I keep them on, or I keep these on so I have them in case we actually use them for inside a jack-o'-lantern, but we haven't. So there we go. That's 2 more little cute pumpkins just made out of slinkies and a candle and some green leaves. So now I will go and set up my front porch, and I'll be back to show you what it all looks like. Right, so there is the 2 pumpkins made out of the slinkies, and there is the pumpkin made out of the cutting boards. I didn't like the way this ribbon was. It just looked kind of out of place, so I just twisted it, and I kind of like the way it twisted and then it came down. So it looks more like a real stem of a pumpkin, so I like that better. And I glued on the other small ones, and I glued a little rhinestone on each of the small spiders to match the large ones. And now I'll just back up so you can see how it looks. Kind of like the way it's looking. So I've got those other spiders I might set up on here and do some other stuff. I'm just gonna step outside. So there's my pumpkin people, a little boy and a girl, and they're sitting on a big blow-up pumpkin. I gotta weigh these down so they don't blow away, and same with the 2 little wagons. I got them kind of tucked pretty close to the door. I'd like to have them further out, but because I didn't glue any piece down, I don't want anything to blow away. I do have another little table, so I'm gonna find my other little table and put it out here and kind of have them up a little higher. But that is what it looks like right now. See, there's that little basket. I kind of redid out here just so things fit better. I switched the sides. So I've got the basket on this side of the door, and then I've got this on the other side of the door, and there's my wreath still hanging on my door. It's quite big. In fact, I can see up here. I'm gonna have to move a few of these leaves. Gotta bend them this way. They're starting to bend with the wind, and they're getting caught in my door. There. Okay, so I'll just lift it like that for now. I will have to fix that. I don't think I can move it over. Maybe just a little. I think in the last wind it kind of blew it funny. Okay. So there is the big wreath on the front of my door, so you can see how wide the wreath is. It takes up almost the whole width of the door. Alright, so just again, I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who's been watching my videos and subscribing to my channels, and I will see you all in my next videos. Bye.